The serum was supposed to transform me into a hero, but that isn't what happened at first. Look everybody, Carl laid an egg! I looked down and saw I was sitting on a giant red egg. I hadn't gained any superpowers, just an egg. Everyone started laughing. I always knew you were a chicken! A few kids pretended to flap their arms like wings. This was the worst start to my academy career I could have possibly imagined. My parents had spent their entire savings to get me the injection. It was the only chance a poor kid like me had to make something of themselves. A sword and shield glowed brightly on Edgar's arm. I just awakened my warrior mark. What did you awaken? Omelet control? I tried to stand, but the egg rolled under my feet. I sat back on top of it quickly before it cracked. Everyone just laughed harder. We were waiting for the train that would take us to the Divine Academy, now that we'd awakened our powers. But I had no idea what abilities I had now. I armed sweat from my brow. I just needed to figure out where the egg had come from, and why it was here. That's when a kid with a glowing mage crest squinted at my arm. What's that mark? I've never seen one like it before. I looked. On my arm were 3 glowing slashes. Edgar squinted. Who knows? Hey Sarah, give Carl a lift so we can get a better look. Sarah raised her hand. The injection had given her telekinetic powers. I was jealous. She gained the power to lift objects with her mind, and now she was lifting me. My feet dangled in the air. The egg followed, floating right underneath me. Everyone laughed as I flailed helplessly. What a loser! He can't even fight back! I bet he didn't get a power at all. They'll kick him out of the Divine Academy. Then a voice rang out. Put him down! Everyone jumped in surprise. Sarah's telekinetic hold broke. I plummeted to the ground, but a glowing shield formed, letting me down softly. I looked up. A beautiful girl I'd never met stood in front of me with her hand raised. Everyone whispered when they saw the sigils on her arm. Dana got mage powers. Amazing! The egg floated down alongside me. Even though it had brought me nothing but mockery, I felt the strange need to protect it. I cradled it close to my body. Edgar saw the way I hugged it and laughed even louder. Look at him. They have a relationship now. But eggs are for eating. Let's see what's inside. I pulled the egg away from him. No! That only made him try harder. Oh, so it's special now? He grabbed for it again, rougher this time. I didn't have the power to stop him, but Dana pulled Edgar's wrist away. Stop. If it came from his injection, then it has to mean something. You can't just break it. Edgar rolled his eyes. He's just a loser freak that crapped out an egg. He shoved past her and lunged at me again. Hand it over. I want to eat it. Just then my arm burned. The mark on my skin glowed bright red. The egg glowed with it, pulsing like it was alive. Edgar stopped. What's it doing? Before I could speak, both of me and the egg were wrapped in a torrent of red energy. It surged from my hands forward in one huge arc that tore across the room and slammed straight into Edgar. He flew backward like he had been hit by a speeding truck and crashed into a row of medical cabinets, every one of them exploding into pieces around him. Edgar slid to a stop, groaning. The room went silent. Someone whispered. What was that? That wasn't any sort of elemental magic. I've never seen that before. I stared at my hand. I had no idea what I had just done. I only knew the egg was gone. It had vanished in the flash. Dana grabbed my sleeve. Carl? I stood there frozen for a moment, still feeling the heat in my arm and the emptiness where the egg had been. Edgar pushed himself up from the ground. He looked furious. His warrior's mark blazed. He was just about to attack when a loud whistle blared. Guards shouted for us to form ranks and get ready to depart. The train had arrived. The next thing I knew, we were on our way to the Divine Academy. Attention, students! The train car fell quiet. At the front, a woman in a military coat stepped inside. Her name tag read, Sergeant Rita. Congratulations on passing your divine injection and being accepted to audition at the Golden Divine Academy. Everyone looked around in confusion. Audition? We thought we were already in. By now, you should have identified your new powers. You probably think you're a hero now, but not so fast. Evaluations will begin the second we arrive. If you pass, you stay. If you don't, you'll be back on this train tomorrow, on your way to tell Mommy and Daddy you flunked out of the best battle academy in the kingdom. Everyone gulped. Dana unconsciously took my hand. Luckily for you, this train is equipped with combat practice facilities, so I suggest you begin training immediately. You'll find resources specific to your unique abilities in your assigned cars. To my left, a boy flexed his hand and sparks snapped between his fingers. To my right, a girl made a coin disappear. Meanwhile, all I had was a throbbing headache and a bizarre claw mark. Sergeant Rita's gaze passed over me. If you don't have a power or can't manifest one, tell me now. I'll arrange for you to go home immediately. I gulped. It seemed like they was talking directly to me. Now, find your cabin cars and get started. Everyone started filing out. I looked around, not sure of where to go. But then, I saw trouble. Near the front, Edgar was whispering to Sergeant Rita and pointing at me. Rita's gaze locked on mine. Edgar sneered, clearly determined to make this day hell for me from start to finish. Sergeant Rita started walking in my direction. I turned and started walking blindly down the corridor. Maybe I didn't have a power, but I didn't want to go home yet. Sergeant Rita was getting closer. Soon she'd be able to grab me. So I hid behind a group of students eagerly comparing their powers and ducked into the first cabin car I saw. The egg was sitting on the middle of the floor, the same giant red egg I had watched vanish only minutes ago. It glowed faintly, like it had been waiting for me. I looked behind me, half expecting someone to be playing a trick, but no one was there. When I turned back, the egg pulsed brighter, like it was responding to me. I stepped closer. My hand reached out on its own. The moment my fingers touched the shell, the room exploded with light. My vision snapped to white so fast my knees buckled. It felt like the floor dropped out from under me. The cabin disappeared entirely as my mind was pulled somewhere else. Somewhere I had never been before, but somehow felt familiar. Everything went silent. Everything went white. And then I opened my eyes in a completely different world. For the third time today, I was somewhere else. Whoa, what the hell is this place? On a stone altar was a straw nest. In that nest sat the egg, glowing faintly, the same one I'd just been holding, covering in glowing runes. Suddenly the egg trembled, then cracked open. Inside the broken shell sat an adorable baby bird. What in the world? I stroked the tiny bird's head. Were you the one talking to me, little guy? But the bird only chirped softly, fluttering its baby wings. Then a strange mechanical voice spoke in my head. Beast space activated. Wind speed hawk pet added. My eyes widened. Wait, what? Is this my power? This isn't a wind speed hawk. This is just a hatchling. A screen flickered in front of me and the voice blared. Now scanning. Behold, the wind speed hawk. Species, Predator Class Avian. Wingspan, 7 feet. Abilities, Tornado Generation. Vision Spectrum, Ultraviolet, Infrared. Night Sight Mastery. Designation, Elite Nocturnal Hunter. Warning, approach with caution, or risk being swept away. Then the screen disappeared. I stared down at the tiny bird. It was cute, sure, but it was no wind speed hawk. At least not yet. Suddenly, I found myself back in the train. The mechanical voice inside my head spoke again. Supervision activated. Supervision? I blinked, and my vision changed. The forests in the distance became crystal clear. I can see a tiny nest of quill beasts on the far ridge. It was incredible, and the world was so much more vivid now, with colors I hadn't seen before. Was I just given the vision of a wind speed hawk? The voice continued. Additional skills include rend. I let out a whistle. I knew Rend was a basic combat skill that allowed me to create a super sharp air blast. If I mastered these skills, I'd be able to see any enemy coming from at least 100 miles away, sneak up on them, and surprise them with a Rend attack. Suddenly, I felt a warm, fluttering weight in my hands. I looked down. Ah! I jolted back. The bird. The little bird from my beast space. It was sitting in my hands, alive, breathing, real. Oh my God, you're real? The bird chirped back twice. I was so surprised I almost dropped it. It tilted its little head at me. Okay, I guess you can't talk then. I yanked a scarf from my satchel, twisting it into a makeshift sling. You're coming with me. We need to talk to Dana. Inside her private car, Dana squealed with delight. Oh my God, it's so cute! She pet the little bird in my sling. The bird chirped. I tried my best to explain everything to her. My strange beast space, my new abilities, and of course, my new pet. Dana glanced at the bird, then my beast mark. For a moment, her eyes lingered in a way that made me uncomfortable. She furrowed her brow. So, your power is, you have to babysit a little bird? The bird let out a proud squeak, flapping one tiny wing as if offended. I shook my head. No, it's not just a bird. I think it gives me my powers. Or, it is my power? I don't know. It'll turn into a wind-speed hawk one day, I think. The bird chirped again, nuzzling Dana's hand. Dana narrowed her eyes at me. You think? I shrugged. Look, this is all new to me. I'm still figuring it out. Dana looked at the little bird thoughtfully, biting her lip. I don't know what this power is, but maybe it's good enough to make you awakened eventually. I grinned. If I could become awakened, I'd be able to fulfill my dreams and bring my family out of poverty. That would be amazing. Just then, the bird chirped sharply. At first, I thought it was answering Dana. Then I realized it was an alarm cry. Because at that moment, our train suddenly crashed. The world around me flipped upside down as our bodies were thrown against the wall. I clutched the sling instinctively, shielding the little bird with both arms. The crash was over in an instant, and when I came to, I was lying on the floor. I gasped and looked down at the sling. Bird, are you okay? Dana rose to her feet beside me. The little bird chirped twice, shaken but safe. Then, Sergeant Rita burst through the door. There's been a crash. We have to go. Outside, the train had fallen off the tracks, having crashed into a gigantic boulder that had been placed there. What happened? Someone asked. Sergeant Rita's face was grim as she stared at the boulder. This was no accident. Someone or something placed this boulder here. But why? I gulped. What's powerful enough to move a boulder like this? Sergeant Rita looked around. I don't know, but we have no time to waste. We're in the Gloomwood Expanse, an ancient forest where monsters awaken in the dark. If we don't book it and make it to the academy before nightfall, we're dead. Murmurs of panic rippled through the group. It was already dusk. Dana spoke up. That means we have less than an hour. Rita nodded. Then we'd better move. Stick close and stay sharp. As we started walking, the bird chirped anxiously in my sling. I covered it with one hand, gently stroking its back. Edgar, the bully, sneered at me. The hell is that? An emotional support animal? Dana glared at him, her hand glowing faintly with fire from new mage power. Leave him alone, you jerk. As we started moving through the forest, I could feel Rita's eyes on me, like she was trying to figure out what exactly I was. The forest thickened fast, growing darker. All around, I could sense that something was wrong. Earth mice darted from their holes, skittering between our boots before vanishing underground in panic. Rita held a crinkled map in her other hand and frowned. The terrain shifted. I don't recognize this trail. I spoke up. Maybe I can try my new supervision. But Edgar shoved past me and scoffed. Yeah, right. Follow me, everyone. I'll get us to the academy faster than some birdwatcher. But suddenly the ground pulsed and twitched, and a patch of vines twisted around Edgar's leg. Wait! I started, but it was too late. A large living vine hoisted him straight into the air. Edgar screamed in terror, hanging upside down. Help! It was as if the whole forest had come alive. Vines sprung up out of the ground all around us, trapping some by their ankles. Another student shouted, "It's got me! I can't break free!" Rita tried to help her, but a loose vine whipped at her face, keeping her back. It was all one giant plant monster, the kind that could easily destroy towns. Edgar twisted in midair, staring down at me. "Get me down from here, you idiot!" I stared up in horror. Why was this all happening? Who had caused our train to crash? Just then, the bird chirped at me. For a moment, I realized I could understand. "You want me to use Rend?" That's right. I raised my hand toward the vines and took a deep breath. "Here goes nothing," I shouted out. "Rend!" To my amazement, 4 sharp red energy arcs flew out of my fingertips, striking the vines. The vines hissed and shrank back for a moment, but then lashed out at me, even angrier. Edgar screamed, "Damn it, you weakling! Your pathetic power is worthless." My chest tightened. He was right. I wasn't strong enough. How could someone like me expect to become awakened? From my sling, the bird chirped wildly, but I couldn't focus. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Dana. She pointed at the mage mark on her skin. "That was good, Carl, but you just need a boost. Let me use my magic skills to amplify yours." I stared at her. "You can do that?" She shrugged. "It's worth a shot. Better than seeing you die." To my surprise, she suddenly wrapped her arms around me and squeezed me. I blushed. I'd always been secretly in love with her, but we had never hugged before. "Dana, But I couldn't find the strength to say the thought that had crossed my mind. Besides, we had to save the other students. She let me go, then activated her magical powers and shouted, "Amplify!" I felt a surge of strength as Dana's magical energy flowed through my veins. I flicked both of my hands forward. "Rend!" At the same time, the little bird in my sling let out a big, hawk-like screech. Power surged. Suddenly my hand spat 20 arcs in a storm, shredding enough vines for the trapped students to drop free. The plant shrieked, its trunk splitting under the assault. For a heartbeat, I thought we'd killed it. Then the stalk lurched, spewing green sap. It collapsed into the dirt, twitching. The vines fell limp. For now. Edgar dropped to the ground with a crash, drenched in plant slime. The students burst out laughing. I staggered, my arms shaking. Dana sagged against me, drained from the spell. Rita barked out, "Don't celebrate! Move! That thing isn't dead!" I glanced at the shuddering stump. She was right. It hadn't been my strength. It had been desperation, Dana's help, and maybe pure luck. Edgar's glare locked on me through the slime. His humiliation was complete and dangerous. He screamed in rage, "You and your stupid little bird!" Before I could react, he lunged at me. His fist slammed into my jaw. He tackled me to the ground as I tried to shield Bird, but he kept swinging, eyes blazing. "You think this is funny? I'm not letting a poor little coal runt humiliate me." "What are you talking about? I saved you!" I tried to block him, but he was too strong, possessing warrior-class super strength. The bird shrieked and launched itself out of my sling and into Dana's hands. Dana shouted, "Edgar, stop! You'll kill him!" Rita rushed over, hand raised. "Cut it out!" It's getting darker. We need to keep moving or we'll never leave the Gloomwood expanse. But before she could pull Edgar off me, the whole ground rumbled. Trees swayed. The air turned cold. Then, crash! A massive foot swept through the clearing, kicking Edgar off me like a rag doll. I gasped, rolling away just in time to see the towering legs of something massive. "What the hell is that?" Rita commanded. "Everyone run! It's a frost giant." That's what must have put the boulder in our tracks. This whole thing was a trap. I scrambled backward toward Dana, who placed Bird back into my sling. I wrapped the scarf around it again, hands shaking. The bird chirped sharply. "Yeah, I don't think Rend is going to help in this situation." The frost giant's eyes locked onto Sergeant Rita, who was trying to help other students flee. His mouth spread open to reveal jagged teeth. "Food!" His great voice was an earth-shattering bellow. "Keep running!" But Rita's attempt to save the students made her a prime target for the frost giant. With one flick of his hand, the frost giant swatted Rita away, sending her flying off. Dana screamed in shock at the sight of Rita disappearing in the distance. "Oh my God, Sergeant!" Then the frost giant turned its head, attracted to her voice. "Food," he said again, his drool hitting the ground like immense rain droplets. The frost giant moved its feet, and the students all scurried away like rats. Dana tried to run, but his massive hands snatched her off the ground. "No!" I looked on in shock as the girl I loved screamed and kicked helplessly in the air. "Rend!" I flicked both hands and fired off my last 4 red energy arcs at the giant's arm. They bounced off his frozen skin like sparks against stone. He didn't even flinch. I was too weak. The frost giant raised Dana slowly toward his gaping maw. Her terrified eyes met mine. "Carl, do something. Please." I reached out in desperation. "Dana!" And that's when it happened. My beast mark flared, red hot, pulsing with energy. It burned so bright I staggered back. Then a sharp voice echoed inside my skull, the same voice I had heard from the egg in the train. "Master Carl, if you want to save her, then unleash me." "What?" I looked down. My satchel was glowing. The bird's whole body was pulsating with a blinding light. "Wait, so you can actually talk?" "Master Carl, we don't have time." Right. Okay. What do I do, bird? What do I do?" The bird replied, its voice urgent. "My name is Hawk, and if you want to save your friend, we need to evolve." I locked eyes with Hawk's glowing red stare, then glanced down at my beast mark, blazing like fire. It pulsed in time with Hawk, energy building fast, as Hawk's tiny body seemed to surge and grow. Evolve? What does that even... "Carl!" Dana's scream tore through the dusk. There was no more time, and the next move was up to me. Click the link now to keep listening for free. Dana is seconds from being devoured by the frost giant. Carl's beast mark is glowing. Hawk's voice is roaring in his head to evolve. But what does that mean? And what will it cost? One decision could save her, or awaken something unstoppable and change Carl forever. Will Carl's body survive the evolution? Will his bond with Hawk grow stronger or spiral out of control? Find out in the next explosive chapter of First Legendary Beastmaster, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and listen free. Click install now below the video. On the Play Store, tap install, then open and unlock First Legendary Beastmaster for free. Enter a realm where beasts obey, legends rise, and your fate is forged in battle. Don't keep the adventure waiting.